taking them into the Cinco 2, 3 rounds of 5 muscle-ups, 5 deficit handstand push-ups, and then they have to go back across the stadium 90 feet overhead.
This sold-out crowd at the StubHub Center, watching the final heat of the final event for the men. This is the Cinco 2.
That's right, they got 3 rounds of 5 muscle-ups, 5 very deep deficit handstand push-ups, and then they're gonna take that bar, 165 pounds, hold it up overhead, and have to do lunges all the way back across the stadium floor. This is going to do some serious damage to those that have any sort of shoulder issues over the course of this competition. This is shoulder demanding.
Rich Froning going through his deficit handstand push-ups. Josh Bridges in lane 8, who had a disappointing finish in the Cinco 1.
You know he's
flying through his first set of deficit handstand push-ups.
He knows he needs to make up for what just happened. Again, that last event was really, really difficult for him. He's the smallest athlete out here. That weight was heavy, but now he needs to make these work in his favor. He's chasing this man right here. And again, Rich Froning, 195 pounds. I mean, he's not a small guy, but he's just so strong, so efficient in his movements. You just can't throw anything at this kid. Right there, Josh. Look, he looks good on those handstand push-ups. And when you get him to those rings, that's where he's really going to be efficient.
Bridges with 1 more to go, and he'll hop back on those rings. But meanwhile, Rich Froning is closing the gap with Josh Bridges. Rich Froning just needs to avoid a total disaster here. And it looks like he's challenging for the lead. Josh Bridges back on the rings, and Rich Froning is right behind him.
The true championness of Rich Froning is even when he doesn't need to do well, he always puts it all out there. That's a true champion, that's a true athlete. And again, it doesn't matter if it's a skill event, a gymnastic type movement like the rings like this with the muscle up, or the handstands, or strength of lift. He is impeccable in his movements and is so strong and so powerful.
And when I watch him, you could not tell that he just went through another event, and he was through 10 events before that. He started on Wednesday. I mean, this guy, every time he gets on a barbell or the rings or whatever, regardless of how tired he is, it's near perfect every time. Josh Bridges is still in the lead here in the Cinco 2. The time to beat belongs to Lucas Parker, 6:42.6 seconds.
So even though Josh is in the lead right here, what's coming up for him is this bar. So guess what? Josh Bridges weighs 165 pounds. He now has to support his weight overhead, which is 165 pounds, all the way across the stadium. The lunge is not a difficult movement necessarily, but when you are supporting that weight, having to use your midline to support that weight, he just blasted his shoulders, and he's going to have to support all that overhead with the shoulders. It's an absolute obliteration on that joint.
Rich Froning was in a similar situation at the Central East Regional. Dan Bailey, with his very same bar, the very same loading, on a walking lunge, was out front of Froning. Froning tracked him down and then passed him and then set an event record.
He's so calm, so cool and collected. He just, you know, he never gets rattled at all. He's so mature when he's competing like this. He's just so much experience. But again, Josh Bridges is a fighter. I mean, for the size of this guy and the abilities that he has, it's just incredible.
The bar is down for Bridges. Rich Froning showing no signs of slowing down, and looks like he's going to overtake Bridges for the lead. And Rich Froning continues his march towards a 3rd straight CrossFit Games championship. The bar down now for Froning, but he does have the lead.
Wow, Josh Bridges actually had to squat clean that to get it up overhead. They're making him step back, so they are really watching their feet. You need to be in a lunge the entire time. They're not going to let you shuffle your feet or get any extra movement. It has to be a lunge.
Bridges at the top of your screen. He is currently in 1st place. Rich Froning has an advantage. He's taller than Bridges. The bar down for Bridges. Rich Froning lunging his way towards the finish line, trying to lock up back-to-back 1st place finishes in the Cinco 1 and the Cinco 2, and his 3rd straight CrossFit Games championship. The crowd on his feet as the champ chewing up ground. The finish line is within reach. A 3rd straight title is within reach. $275,000 within reach for Rich Froning. And Rich Froning is the fittest man on the planet for the 3rd straight year. Froning, for the third time, the fittest man on the planet, embracing his wife and his father and the rest of the people here from CrossFit Mayhem in Cookeville, Tennessee. And Rich Froning just did that. He made it a three-peat.
How is that possible? It doesn't matter what is thrown at this guy. He is good at everything. And again, look at it. He doesn't even look tired right now. He has enough energy to jump up over the wall, high-five all his fans, and still come back and cheer on everybody else. This guy is unreal.
Jason Khalipa, the 2008 CrossFit Games champion, he will finish, and Khalipa will find himself back on the podium with a second-place finish. And this is what CrossFit is all about. The men you compete against very quickly become your biggest fans.
So right there, two guys from the same region, they do battle against each other all the time. Now I'm just going to go out and help better. This is how great this guy is. I mean, when you're this good, you really aren't threatened by anything. This sport is amazing. The way you are able to go around and cheer on everyone and coach everyone all the way through competition, it is out of control.
30 seconds to go before we hit the 7-minute time cap. Rich Froning cheering on his fellow competitors to try and complete this event inside the 7-minute time cap. And Froning and Khalipa, the two men that we saw compete against each other in one of the open workouts. They trained together for a little while. Yelling at Scott Pansy to not put the bar down. 6 seconds to go, 5 to go in the 2013 Reebok CrossFit Games 2 and 1. The 2013 Reebok CrossFit Games are history, and Rich Froning has just made history once again.